Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and on today's video I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the new Goosebumps series. Just before I do that though, I just want to apologise about the focus on the camera. It's a new camera, I'm still trying to figure everything out, so yeah, the focus is not the best in this video, but I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you like the video anyway. Anyway, let's get back into the video, which has recently been released. So I wanted to make this when the series was finished, but it's getting close to Halloween and I wanted to put out something for Halloween, and I don't have any other videos, so yeah, I thought why not just talk about it now. So yeah, I usually write full-on scripts for these videos, but in this I just wrote down a few notes of what I think about the show basically. But yeah, let's get into the video. So this new Goosebumps show, I find it difficult not to relate it to the first Goosebumps show, because you know they're both Goosebumps shows, but I don't think it's really fair to compare them both because they're so different. But it's still difficult for me to do that, so if I do that throughout this video, I apologise. That's just because, you know, it's difficult to separate the two. But yeah, I've been a fan of Goosebumps basically my whole life. I've loved the books, I loved the original show, I like the movies, they're okay. And this show, I have mixed feelings on it, kind of like I do with the movies. I'm not sure if I like this more than movies or less than the movies, but yeah, I'll get into that. So, the episodes that are out at the time of the recording: Say Cheese and Die, The Haunted Mask, The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, Go Eat Worms, Reader Beware, and The Night of the Living Dummy. Which, most of them, I don't think Reader Beware is a book, I think that's just a reference to the start of all Goosebumps books, where it's like, reader beware, you're in for a scare. I've not read the books in a while, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is, because at the start of the original show it goes, reader beware, you're in for a scare. So yeah, I'm guessing it's like that in the books. What differs this show from the original show? The original show took these stories from the books and made whole episodes surrounding him, but they weren't in the same universe as other episodes, maybe somewhere, but they weren't all connected. But in this show, all the episodes are connected for some reason, but the main part of each episode is to do with the story it's named after. Like Say Cheese and Die, it's about the camera, that when you take a photo of someone, that shows how they're going to die. So you know, basic stuff, you know. Haunted Mask about a haunted mask, so on. You know, Go Eat Worms, that's a pretty weird one, but I'll get into that later. But yeah, I do remember the original Say Cheese and Die. I'm not sure too much how it went, but I'm pretty sure one of them, their cheeks exploded or something, I don't know, it's really weird. But in this, no one dies in this show for some reason, except from the 6th episode, which again I'll talk about later. But yeah, I'm pretty sure people died in the original show, so I don't know why they cut out on the people dying aspect, it's weird. Or actually, this is actually the next thing I want to talk about. So in Say Cheese and Die on the new show, it starts with a cold open. They all do, but this one starts back in 1993, I think, where it's in this house, it's about this guy, and then he thinks there's someone in the house, blah blah blah, doesn't really matter. But he dies in a house fire basically, so there is that death, but that's basically that's needing to be there for the story of the show to happen. Also, I'm sorry if this just feels like a rant. It kind of ends. I've not really planned this that well. I just really wanted to get a video out for Halloween. I thought this would just be a fun cam video to do. But yeah, I think that the cold open of Say Cheese and Die is much better than the rest of the episode, and the rest of, well, actually half of the rest of the episode. The same with Haunted Mask and I think the Cuckoo Clock of Doom aren't even about what the title is, which I don't, why, like, it's kind of weird. But yeah, in Say Cheese and Die, I think the cold open is much better. It started off so strong, and then the actual episode started and it's like, oh, okay, this is not what I expected. I was, okay, whatever. But yeah, I didn't think this episode was bad. I actually thought it was pretty decent for an opening episode. It could have been better, but it was okay. Something I want to talk about in the show in the whole is that the script and stuff, like, the characters sometimes don't speak like humans. Like, I've never heard characters speak like how they do, which, I don't know, it kind of puts me off. But the original show's already like that. The acting wasn't the best in the original show, but I think I probably have nostalgia tinted glasses on thinking about that show. That episode was okay. It's like 6 out of 10. I'd probably say it's a decent enough episode. But the Haunted Mask, I think the Haunted Mask was done pretty well, to be fair, in this show. I loved the book and the original show's episode of it, but this show did it pretty well. The only thing I didn't like is how they made the mask. Like, it's so boring in this episode until she puts it on and it like actually takes over her mind or whatever it does. Like, it just looks so boring, but then luckily they fix it when it's all demony and stuff. And I think the ending of the episode was the strongest part, if it's the right ending I'm thinking of, because there are 2 endings, but I'm pretty sure it's that ending. But in the other episode, the other ending that I'm thinking of is the next episode. I'm not sure, can't remember. The Haunted Mask, that was a pretty good episode. Don't really have anything to say about the Cuckoo Clock of Doom, to be honest. It was okay. I don't remember the original episode at all. So yeah, I can't compare it to that, even if I wanted to. Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't that scary. Go eat worms. Okay, so I'm kind of mixed on this episode because I think the majority of this episode was done really well. It delved in emotionally and stuff. I think that's done very well. But then it gets to the end and it's kind of just really dumb. And I don't remember the original episode, but I know there's like a floor full of worms in the original episode or something. But in this, the worms make this like big giant monster thing, and then they chase them into like a dock area, and it's just kind of dumb. Not in a good way. It's kind of weird that something I will give that part is that it was animated very well. The whole of worms and stuff, it was animated very well. It looked disgusting, which is good. But yeah, I just think that was a kind of a letdown to the rest of the episode, because like, it's already a dumb concept, but I think the way it handled it at the start and throughout most of the episode, it was done pretty well, except for that end bit. So the next episode, Readers Beware, I also don't have much to say about this one, but I did think it was cool because I'm pretty sure it's its whole own story. I don't think there's a book called Reader Beware. I could be wrong on that though. But yeah, it was pretty cool for them to make their own story, because the rest of them, it was their own story, but they added elements of the books in, which I think that's, although I prefer how the original show did it, and it took the books and, you know, adapted them completely, I do like seeing this new style of adapting the books, you know. But yeah, this episode was like, I'm pretty sure completely original. For being a completely original episode, I think it was done pretty well. So the last episode I'm talking about, the dummy, the Night of the Living Dummy, that was actually very interesting. I did like how they adapted the story, because they just basically took Slappy, the words that activate him. It's basically a Chucky ripoff, to be honest, but you know, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I liked how it went back in time to like the 1950s or something. Was it No, it was the 1920s, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I liked that. It was cool, and how they did the aspect ratio and black and white and stuff. That was very cool. I liked that a lot. And this episode was probably the scariest out of all of them, to be honest. The transformation that happens when they use the spell to make people into dummies, that was genuinely pretty terrifying. Like, it was done very well. It's a very interesting show because I have very mixed feelings on it, but I don't know, I really liked that episode, even though it was very different to the original story. I liked it a lot. That episode was like actually good, like good in my opinion. But yeah, that's basically this video done. I don't really know what else to say about this show. It's a pretty good show. I'll be watching more episodes when they come out, and if there's a season 2, I'll watch it. It's a fun show. It's not the best, it's not the worst. I don't know, I like it, you know. I wouldn't say it's anything amazing, but definitely not bad. It's pretty fun. But yeah, tell me what you thought of the show in the comments if you've watched it, because I'm curious to see what other people think, especially if people who've seen the original show or read the books, what they think, and what people who haven't read the books or seen the original show at all. I want to know what both sides think, because I think that could be pretty interesting to know. But yeah, that's basically the end of the video. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to. That would help out the channel a lot. I was wanting to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, but I highly doubt that's going to happen there. But yeah, if you want to subscribe, that would help out a lot. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like, and thank you for watching. It means a lot, and goodbye.